So we lost a good 24 minutes worth of footage because as I was transferring it, I deleted the stuff off my phone, and I had thought that I'd transferred it, and I hadn't. And the problem with a phone is once it's deleted, it's gone. You can't Control Z it, and that sucks. So, in an effort to alleviate your extreme concern, let me show you what we've done.
Hey everyone, I moved my merch store from that website that shall not be named that screwed my couple orders up to Fourth Wall. Check this out. With all new stuff, well, I mean some of the old stuff which you liked, but now this new shirt, the 8-bit console retro shirt that resembles another thing that shall not be named because I don't want to get copy strike. Copy strike? What the hell? What the f***? So yeah, go check out the new stuff. It feels good. I'm wearing one right now and it feels great. So yeah, buy my shit.
I stood here for the better part of 20 minutes, and then Evie came up with an idea. Danielle came up with an idea.
Hi, Evie, it's fine.
Danielle came up with an idea to do something over here, and so I stood here for the better part of 20 minutes just thinking about how I would do it, because I didn't want this side to be just like there, because there's a space and it's ugly. So what I did instead was I'm going to cut this whole piece out here, and then this is going to be metal. But on this side, we're going to use this as negative space, so this is going to be plexi, and so is the rest of this here. But all this is going to stay metal, and so is this. So that's what we did with the 24 minutes that you missed. There you go. I also am doing the exact same thing with this. I want to cut out the, hey, that looks really good. I'm cutting out this here so you can see through it to the motherboard. That's gonna look so fucking cool.
You're not gonna cut all the way to the end, right?
No, in fact, I have to even... When I cut it, I actually have to go a little further in from the line. So what I'm cutting, this is the edge of it, but I'm actually going to go another 1/4 inch or so. This is actually where I'm going to cut. I understand that you cannot see me, and I apologize. I know each and every 4 of you want to know exactly how I'm doing this and what I'm doing. So now this is the area that I'm going to cut out. And unlike the side panel, I'm actually just going to keep it square. It doesn't need to be interesting. It just needs to be practical. So this is where the fans will go. Or at least the power supply. There's going to be plenty of air coming out this thing. It's great. This is so ugly. I can't believe that this is like the only shit they make is like American flag, and look, man, I'm going hunting with
Can't
my
you
sister.
turn it inside out?
No, the only other way to do that is it's freaking day glow orange.
Sure is.
So the first piece I'm going to do is the door panel, and I'm really looking forward to this. I don't know why I used electrical tape. It's going to melt. Whatever. The masking tape's going to melt too, or burn off. I don't know how I feel about this yet. Let's try. Let's try to make me feel something.
What?
This is the negative space. We're cutting this out, and then we're going to cut this out. So I have to remember not to cut this bit. This bit. I really wish I could get a better trigger for this. I don't like that it's just zip tied. There's one that they make like a foot trigger for it. Okay. Oh, it's fine. Small cuts. I have to remember to do small cuts. Like that. I just f***ed it up. Yeah, thank you. We now have to start getting ready for priming and painting and stuff, but before that, I had this really kick-ass idea with... I should get the level
Oh, you
again.
taped that on there.
I didn't tape it in. Oh, I taped it in there, yeah.
We have to leave the tape on there then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I was working on this, I did a little bit of thinking, because with all of the stuff that was like protruding out and stuff, I cut all this off. So these bits here, and I also, like, I took the grinder and cut these down. There were a couple more down here that I cut and like ground these down, so they're nice and flat. And then there are bits in here that sort of kind of, you know, like that, so that you could use it to like use as like a stabilizer for a hard drive, so it kind of gets in there and it's stable, but it's not like grinding. So I ground all that stuff, and then I poured a little bit of acrylic resin on here to make it flat. And this side worked great. It looks just about perfect, and it's nice and flat and glassy, which doesn't even matter, but still. This side I wanted to do something similar, but I screwed it up right away. But as Val Kilmer once said, these little setbacks are exactly what you need to take a giant step forward, and that's exactly what happened. So what I have done since is I have taped the fan bracket to here. I used some double stick tape down here, and I just used like Scotch tape for the rest of it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pour this acrylic resin right here and make it nice, and we're going to even come over the mount so that it's just going to be one homogeneous piece. I like using that word. I don't get to use it enough. So you're not even going to notice. It's just going to look like it comes off of it. It's going to see so slick. But so I royally screwed up on that, which is great because now we can do this. And after that, we're going to prime it and paint it. But before we even do that, I'm actually going to put more on top of this. And so after we prime and paint it, I'm going to put some other stuff in there, and then we're going to lay more resin on top of it. It's going to look so good. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but it's going to look really, really, really good. And since it'll already be painted, it'll be like looking through glass. So for this, now we can just move this. You need lots of like tin foil or something. If you're going to do this, you need to have your space covered, because this gets everywhere and it doesn't come off. And unless you use like a razor blade, which I have to do now on the kitchen table because I f***ed it up. I noticed you've been smiling because you just let it happen. And
I was downstairs,
you were downstairs
when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Just heard you screaming.
Oh God, that was such a bad time too. I was just like, honey, oh God, fuck, oh fuck. It was getting everywhere. So now we got smart, and apart from these, so what you're gonna need for this is a plastic fork. Sometime, I think in the instructions it just says to use like a popsicle stick, but these work really well. So plastic fork, paper cup, some binary agent acrylic resin. This is the stuff that they pour this on like bars and desks that they want to make look really, really, really shiny, that varnish just doesn't do. Need some tin foil to put down so you don't fuck up your spot, latex gloves, and a heat gun. And if you don't have a heat gun, hopefully you live in a really, really warm place.
What's the heat gun for?
It cures it. What it does is it activates the agents, and like it'll harden if you don't do it, but it'll take a lot longer. And this stuff already takes like overnight. So by the time we actually get to do this, it's going to be tomorrow. It's actually very simple to get this going. The only thing you have to do is pour equal amounts of this shit into a cup and stir for 6 minutes. That's it. And then you cure it with the heat gun. Instead of doing what I did last time, we are putting it on this pan that is lined with tin foil. I have wrapped this piece again with... See, what happened was, for the other side, what I did was fine, because it wasn't going to go anywhere because it already had a lip. I just had to cover up the holes, and that was fine. This side didn't have that. It had lips that you wrapped around it, but I didn't do that because I was only worried about it just not dripping down. What exactly happened was, as soon as I heated it up, it thinned out like water, and it just dripped right through. So instead, I've taken the tape and wrapped it completely around, so there's nowhere for it to go. And if it does, it'll just harden around the outside of, which is fine, because when we mount it to the chassis, I'm just going to drill holes where the rivets go and widen them out a little bit. The heat gun we don't need just yet, but we're going to use the extension cord for that. You're doing great.
How equal do they need to be?
What's in there is what we're using.
I mean, that's more than fits in the cup.
Okay, well then we use half of what we're using of what's in there. And it doesn't need to be like super, super equal, though I suspect that that's exactly what you're going to.
Doesn't matter which one we pour first.
No, you have to pour them, in. It doesn't say like, you look over. Do me a favor, lean over the counter once. Just lean over the counter. There you go, thumbnail. I know what gets the views now.
I've been thinking lately about going to that crafty place that I'm not going to say the name on camera.
What,
Blankety blank.
Thanks. Just said I wasn't going to say it on camera.
In Cityville, North America.
As if people can't Google the name of the place.
Yes, we will go to blankety blank to do blank.
So now that we've waited our 6 minutes, we're going to pour. Let's fix that.
What? Why? Okay.
So that you're not reaching over the bracket.
So I'm gonna pour it over
Just
the bracket.
pour, yeah,
Like
pour over
you
the
do
bracket.
want it to be over the bracket. Okay.
Definitely more. We're gonna need a lot more.
Yep. I'm gonna.
Because it's not even getting around there yet.
Yep.
I like the way this stuff smells. Even though it'll kill you if you just sit in a room with it. I also like the way it dries.
Like your farts last night.
Oh, that's gonna go over it nicely. Good job.
Thank you.
Oh, it's gonna be like glass. It looks like it's sitting pretty flush now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna look so good.
Every last drop. They might have, we might have a little too much on this side. What do you think?
Well, it'll move when we heat it up with the heat gun.
Okay, when are you gonna do that? Now?
Right now. Now with this, what you want to do, you don't want to get too close, but what you do want to do is get the bubbles out.
Well, we're gonna be painting it anyway, right?
Yeah, well, the bubbles mean that there's no reaction yet.
Wouldn't bubbles actually mean there is a reaction?
No, you want the bubbles out.
But bubbles would indicate that a reaction is happening, right?
Yes. Shut up. Oh, I was very concerned that was not.
Yeah?
You want to put the extension cord on the... did perfect. Thank you.
It really does take a lot of the bubbles out.
Yeah, that's gonna be nice and flat.
I really want to poke that bubble.
This bubble.
That bubble.
This bubble. The one that's underneath it.
Yeah. Don't. It's tape, honey. Don't do it. It's not worth it. I just wanted to poke it. Just leave it.
Just put it right in your eyes. I don't know why I didn't do that. Looks good. Now we just gotta wait a day.